right, well, thanks everyone for joining us for another Agile Takes. We take 90 seconds, couple minutes just to talk about what's going on in the very dynamic world of cybersecurity, trends, things like that. Joining me today is Lisa Copley. Lisa's sales director at Microtechs in England. So we're thrilled you made time for us towards the end of your day. Thanks so much, Lisa. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the discussion. So, Lisa, you probably see this every day, given the line of work you're in. You know, many companies, are trying to improve their cybersecurity, and they're kind of unsure where to start, especially small and mid-sized businesses. Just where do they start? What's the most important things? Because they can't do everything, right? Yeah. So when you talk to companies who are looking to upgrade those plans, where's a good place for them to start in terms of strategy and getting their arms around it?
I guess for me, there's probably two main considerations for someone wanting to really have a good view of what's going on. I think the first would be to do a complete audit, a cybersecurity audit, because then at least they know what organization, their business, what issues they could potentially have, where those vulnerabilities may sit. At least then you kind of know what to deal with. I guess the second key thing is also, making sure that all of the employees of that business or organization have some training, have some cybersecurity knowledge, so they themselves don't become a vulnerability to the business.
It's funny you bring up training. When we look at all the numbers, it's training, because that leads to negligence. It doesn't mean the employees are being malicious. There's some that are, but it's a very small percentage. But they're negligent. They just sometimes don't know how to properly work within cybersecurity. And then COVID, working from home and on different machines, that's kind of thrown a wrench into everything. You've probably seen that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many risks that are out there. And quite often, like you said, people are negligent without even knowing. I think quite often human error is one of the biggest issues, and it can easily be mitigated with some training and support.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a human and I err all the time. So trust me,
It's
I
normal.
understand. So, take it a step further. When you think about teams and they're trying to establish, a plan of action and trying to get an understanding of best practices within an organization. You guys talk to lots of different companies in many different industries. Are there resources that you can suggest where they can start and begin to implement this strategy, especially when it comes to things, like the monitoring, like the, 24/7 servers, things like that. Can you talk a little bit about that as well and what you're seeing?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, the first point is probably the most sensible thing organizations can do is look at implementing a SOC. Now, that is an expensive and cumbersome task for any business to look at, particularly if you're looking to monitor it 24 hours a day. What I'd recommend is looking at a service provider that can do a SOC as a service. That way, it kind of takes that pressure away from the organization, gives you the ability to have like a full scale support and overview of your digital infrastructure. And it's, at a fraction of the cost.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you see the as a service trend in just about everything these days, platforms, cloud, all these things. So naturally moving into the SOC. And, the best part that we see is CFOs love the fact that they don't have to write a big check up front as a capital expenditure. Exactly. A monthly fee, helps, break those costs down. Absolutely. No, that's great, Lisa. We appreciate that sentiment. As you recede back, what are some final thoughts you might leave with anybody listening to this today on cybersecurity and, where you're seeing things in your part of the world?
Yeah, sure. I think, we're being approached by a lot of businesses in the UK, specifically in that mid-market sector, that are having, they're starting to look at this really seriously now. Probably a little bit too late with the remote working and how everything will rush through with the pandemic, but there's a lot of opportunity there for people to make changes very quickly and cost effectively. So if you look at a SOC as a service, you're getting all of that protection and you're getting it 24 hours a day, and you're getting that team, that skilled team, without all of that initial outlay and sort of resource management yourself. So I think there are some quick wins there with the education of the employees and at least knowing where your vulnerabilities are.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's excellent, Lisa. So if you're in the UK and have more information, you can check out Lisa at Microtechs If anybody has any questions on SOC in the UK, visit Lisa, and in other parts of the world, you can also visit AgileBlue.com. Lisa, thank you so much for your time today. It's great seeing you. And
Yeah,
we'll
great
talk
seeing you
soon.
too. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye now.